Okay, what merge sort does? It split and then merge. And since it would be ineffective creating new arrays for the recursive calls, we will use two indexes, which indicates the part of array that we are sorting. In the first call, it would be from 0 to length minus 1. Then we have the recursion ending condition, which is this first if condition. If this condition is not met, we end. And this condition basically says that there has to be at least two elements in the part, because when from is same as 2, we have only one number and you can't split one number. So if there are 2 and more, we calculate the middle index, which is from plus 2 divided by 2. And as in the explanation, we split the array into two smaller parts. That is these two recursive calls. First part starts at index from and ends at index middle. The second part starts at index middle plus 1 and ends at index 2. After these recursive calls are completed, we merge them. This is important. We merge after the completion of these calls, as if the evaluation of this stops and it waits until the merge in these two recursive calls are done. Okay? Let's look at the merge function. So it takes array that we are sorting, and then there are three indexes. These indexes defines our two arrays that we will merge. The first array starts with from and ends with middle. The second starts with middle plus 1 and ends with 2. Let's create these arrays. So first thing is to calculate the length of left and length of right array. Remember, the left contains even the element on middle, so the length is middle minus from plus 1. And the right will have length of 2 minus middle, because middle is not in this array. We create two arrays of size of the length we calculated before plus 1. I will explain in a minute why plus 1. The next step is to fill these arrays with corresponding elements. So, for every number in input array, starting with index from to index middle, and since we calculated the length of left array before, we can use it in this loop. So, we get all elements starting with index from to index from plus length left minus 1. And we do pretty much the same for right array, only this time we are adding elements starting with index middle plus 1 and go to index middle plus length of right part. Okay, now we set the last empty space to the max value of integer. We will use these max values later on. Now let's merge these together. And since our output array is the array that's passed to this function as an argument, and we have already stored each number from the part that we are sorting into the left and right array, we can just rewrite the values on every index starting with from, ending with 2. We will use these two variables which indicates at what number are we currently pointing. So, for every index starting with from, ending with 2, we set new value of our output array to the smallest pointed element from left and right array. After setting it, we have to increment the pointer. And that is why we use these max values. They are used as stopping point. For example, when we take all numbers from left array, we will start comparing numbers in right array with max value, and since it is max value, it will be bigger, so we basically fill the rest of output array with all the remaining numbers from right array. And we will never compare two max values because we need to add two minus from numbers. And the length of the left and right arrays together are bigger by two numbers. And these two are the max values. Okay, that is pretty much the merge sort. The important thing is that the left and right array is always already sorted. Why? Because left and right have either one element, that means it is sorted. How can one element be in order? Or it is the result of some merge, and merge always returns sorted part of array. If you have any questions, just ask them, and I will see you next time.